Hey folks, I'm Jody White. I'm here on the Ohio River getting ready for the Rayovac FLW Series Championship. I've got Gerald Spohrer with me, qualified out of the Northern Division, fishing the FLW Tour next year. Gerald, we were talking a minute ago, you said you had a little bit of success up here, or had at least enough success up above the dam that you needed to look a little more, and you spent your final day of practice up above Smithland. Can you talk about kind of why you did that?
Well, the word success may not, it may have been the kiss of death, I don't know, because all it did was confuse me. Late yesterday afternoon, I came up here, I had decided the second day of practice I was going to go ahead and commit to Paducah pool, and after half a day of practice yesterday, without a bite, I changed my mind. I said, let me lock through, and I ended up locking through, and I came up here, and I did some things I didn't get a chance to do the half a day that I did come up here before. And the last little bit of the day, I guess the last couple hours, I kind of started fishing something that I had been fishing, but I started fishing it differently, and I had 4 bites in an hour and a half or so, and that's a big deal on this river. And I set the hook on one of them, and one of them was a 3-pounder. So then I was like, okay, now what do I do? So I had one more day of practice, and so there was an area in Paducah where I can catch some keepers, but it's also getting a lot of pressure. But I wanted to go expand on it and look for some minor details. And so I had to decide, do I go look for the minor details, or do I come expand on this pattern that I learned late yesterday afternoon? So I chose to come expand on the pattern in the upper pool, and come to find out it just happened to be, I guess, that area, because I couldn't make the pattern happen anywhere else. So now I'm faced with a decision. It's basically going to come down to boat draw, and if I get a long day or a short day, that's going to make my decision whether I lock up or stay in the Paducah pool. I guess the big key word to this tournament for me is I got to continue practicing during the tournament. I know there's a lot more I need to learn in my Paducah area, and there's a lot more I need to learn in this pool, the Smithland pool. So I'm gonna just take what I know, and when the tournament starts, based on my boat draw and whatever decision I make, I'm just gonna continue practicing during the event, and that's very hard to do. A lot of people like to go with what they know. I have just enough to go continue practice. I'm gonna pick up where I left off in those 2 areas and just hope that everything works out.
So as far as being able to figure out, your areas, whether in practice or during the tournament, you've had a lot of experience on rivers. You fished the Sabine, you fished some other rivers down south, the Red, and that sort of thing. Has that experience helped you at all for this event, or do you feel like you're kind of going in almost dry just because it's a very different type of river?
Well, I did come here with some preconceived notions, because rivers are pretty standard across the country when it comes to current breaks and tailwaters and certain types of wood they like to set up on, and of course everywhere I go in the country I tend to find them on the same kind of thing. But the biggest piece to solving the fish puzzle is fish, and unless they tell you what in the areas that they're in, and it's hard to figure them out. And the problem over here is you only have populations in certain areas, and with as much river, I don't know how many miles it is from one end to the other.
It's a lot.
But for 4 days of practice, it's like finding those little small populations of fish has been the hardest part. So I've been running all over, trying not to spend too much time in one area, just hitting the best looking stuff in each area until I find a little population of fish. And I only have 2 areas that have somewhat of a population, and it seems that everybody has found the same thing also. So that's also another trick is playing with the crowd.
All right. Now, this is the last day of practice. Tomorrow it's your off day, registration, and then go time on on Thursday. If you had another day to fish it, to practice, what would you be doing with your final day? Would you go back down to Paducah? Would you stay up here? Would you try something totally different?
Well, I've narrowed down to exactly what I would do here. It would be nice to have another day here because there's a lot of stuff I didn't get to fish this pool really good. I know this has got to be the prettiest stretches in the whole river that within our boundaries. There's more to fish here than anywhere. It takes a long time to fish this because this is the biggest pool. And I didn't get a chance to fish it like I want to, but I would probably, if I had one more day, I would go dial in my area in the Paducah pool, because it would probably take me 2 more days to fish this thing like I wanted to. And you can burn a day up here unless, my problem was I was kind of back and forth. I was there and then I was here, I was there and here, and I kind of left myself with just knowing a little bit of 2 different places, and it's left me with confusion. So it might hurt me in the end.
All right, well, Gerald, good luck getting unconfused. Hopefully you figure it out. Once the tournament happens, you continue to practice and catch them up. But good luck out there.
Thank you.